Hi, I'm gonna do another follow-up reading about the trial with the. He always gets excited at the top of the video. I don't know why, but I guess he likes broadcasting. Okay, so I'm just gonna get into. Let's take a look at Johnny Depp's energy. I have the dishwasher on. I'll turn it off 1 second. Sorry, I was so close to it, it was distracting. Okay. I mean, Johnny Depp's energy right now feels like a bit in like kind of like mellow celebratory energy. Like maybe he has like some friends around, like 3 friendly people around him, and there's just like relief and joy and just this returned sense of self-esteem type of thing. I don't know if he likes like pasta or bread. I kind of try to stay off those because I'm like old and stuff. But like I feel like he maybe has like, like I don't know if he likes Italian food or bread or something. Anyway, I feel that vibe as like taking place in the celebration somehow. Um, I feel like he's like enjoying like it's not, there's like a vibe, not so much of his mom, but it's like a older, not maybe older than him, but like mature female vibe of like there's a couple mature females or so like that. There's like a renewal of like an affirmation of their bond, continuing bond, let's say, and it's some sort of declarations of like affection back and forth. I'm given like the picture of like flowers exchanged or something. So I don't know if he felt grateful to like, let's say, Kate Moss or Winona Ryder. I don't think, did Winona testify? I didn't see like the whole thing, but let's say she did. I don't know. Anyway, I feel like some positive exchange and flower sending perhaps going on there. And it maybe there was some like immature vibe like thing that made those friendships of his like dormant for a period of time. But it's like you wake up from a dream like and you're 30 years older and it's like no, like, there's still love here. It's like what was that dream or nightmare that prevented me from seeing the truth. It's a bit like Sleeping Beauty and like that castle's covered with ivy. I mean, say what you want about like fairy tales and stuff, like they're pretty accurate sometimes about like how life is. Maybe it's not like a castle in every case, but like you could argue like for him it is. Anyway, he has like a few homes. All right, so let's get back into it. I feel like Johnny struggles between like being kind of, let's say, disgusted by Amber's behavior. That's my dog snoring. And his like need to save people, to be like him, like this idea of like safety and like at his own peril kind of thing. So like, and you could say that like really more angelic type personalities like love to save people, and like their compassion isn't limited to like people that are nice to them. So he's like battling between like feeling totally disgusted, like how she like pooped the bed and like hit him and was horrible to him, and then like she's a human being. Like I feel sorry for her right now. Like he has, and like to his credit, he cares, but he doesn't. It's not really like his job right now to be that person for her to like sort of rebirth her to the next stage. So he doesn't need to carry that, like as it were. Um, and he has the world now and not just himself to remind him like don't go back, like not just not don't go back into a relationship, but like don't allow her energy back into your energy kind of thing. And maybe he needed that kind of army of people or fans to just remind him like, hey, like this is, you need to leave some people alone, like like if Amber's energy is like a crazy wildcat, like you don't need that crazy wildcat like in your home. They could like be out in nature doing their thing. While wildcats are beautiful or sly or like interesting or what good qualities of large cats and stuff, they're it's like they're not playing either. So okay. um And I feel like he's learning a lot about like what he actually likes in a woman. Like it's one thing to have like sexual chemistry, but it's another to be like, who do I want to live with on a day-to-day basis who I also find pleasing, like that I'm also attracted to, but it's not like an animalistic, like survive like a scary survival competition type of sexual attraction. So like I feel like he is I'm getting like a bit of like what appears to me like a face like Kate Moss's face, which is kind of like, even though she's older, she still looks beautiful and has that like that's my dog again. It's just like I see like a sort of, and also Vanessa in a way has that parody, has that like youthful face and stuff. But I'm feeling more it's like, because I think Vanessa's married right now. And I don't know the status of Kate Moss, but it's like that kind of face, like someone who's just like sweet and like fun and just good company, like mostly like to share the same values. You could say that he didn't share our values with Amber, or like if they discussed it, she might have presented it as such, but in practice, they didn't have the same values, habits, and all that stuff. Okay. But I do feel like, I feel like there's been like 2.5 years of him feeling like really sad. And so he's really happy to like have a reason to celebrate right now. So it just feels like little moments of like get-togethers with his kids that are like small but wonderful moments of sharing like an uplifting spirit, which is nice. I feel like he may have like a couple movie things like in the works, like 2 or 3 things kind of arriving. I feel like it would do him a lot of good, even if he doesn't publish it, but to like write a memoir. There's probably pressure for him to write a memoir because it would like sell, obviously. But like whether he publishes it or not, like he can even write it and sit on it for like 5 years and then like do another edit like 3 years from now, like just like recapping like how he felt or something, and so it was like less rushed and more thoughtful. Whereas like if Amber put something out, it would be out in like 6 months and like kind of like I don't get the word gumbo, like a real mix of like, gumbo is like, is it like meat and seafood and rice, and it's just like like everything, just like like um like a disorganized just snippets of stuff. So yeah, like, and I feel like Johnny has a more like higher standard for literature, I'll say. um he takes a lot of care with his characters and stuff. I haven't really seen Pirates beyond like 30-second clips of like highlights and stuff, because I don't like war fighting movies or whatever. Um, so like if I when I watch Lord of the Rings, I just skip to like the elf forest scenes and stuff. Um, by the way, if that director wants to make like just the like paradise kind of elf movie, I'm there to watch that. Okay. Oh, like, and as an aside, I was feeling like there was nothing good on TV, but I saw the TV show The Man Who Fell to Earth, the recent one, and I thought it was great. And so if you're like looking for something to watch, that's great. So all right, Johnny Depp. I feel like Amber Heard is like a in a way like a broken record. Like she's missing some cards in her deck. Like, and like I think some people with mental illness, whether it was like brought on by repeated use of drugs, which can impact the brain function, for whatever reason, like she's not firing on all pistons, right? And it's just like that's just what it is, and like people who are close to her are just gonna have to like deal with that. And it doesn't mean she can't live like a meaningful, fulfilling life or whatever, but it would be with people who have this tolerance for like a limited viewpoint of how she wants to live, which might be out of sync with like someone who's compassionate or like empathetic or whatever. And I mean, just like it seemed like she had a group of friends who like were similar to her, so maybe she'd find like another group of similar friends if she's doesn't have a bunch right now. Like uh, she still has like interesting qualities and stuff, and can be like good company, quote unquote. Like I feel so. Um, I don't feel like her being alone at all, or like alone really ever. And she might be someone who needs companionship. Um, okay, and I feel like Johnny is like. I feel like because he has a lot of helpers and stuff, like butlers or whatever, people like that. Um, while he wants to rebuild stability, like he's not like putting the gloves on and doing it himself. He's like, I would like this, or let's do that, or like it feels like a lighter energy, like recreating the stability he wants. And I feel like his daughter has a lot of say now in like how things go, what he should do, like where he should live, or like, you know, like if he didn't listen to her as much as he ought to during his relationship with Amber, like he'll listen to her now because he's been kind of saying like my kids are everything, but it's like I can't prove it. Like So I feel like Lily Rose, wants to really like know what's going on with his choices moving forward, and to like have a say and be heard, like by him. I guess because like obviously like he divorced Vanessa, so I'm not feeling her energy as much in his decision making. So it's like she becomes like the elder female like in his circle than like his daughter. Um, okay. Yeah, I feel like I feel like his lawyer can be like is a very disciplined person and like draws a line between like professional and friends and stuff. And so like there's like this deep feeling of gratitude and professionalism I get like about their interaction. And if people are trying to like ship them and stuff, like I would feel like while he's maybe a wonderful person to get to know, like he's not like her type, like, you know. Um, and he has a good like 7 years of kind of rehabilitating his emotions and everything like after what just happened. So it's gonna require like some gentle lifestyle changes suggested by like his daughter and people who care about him. But he may have some still like sort of toxic friendships, like people who live off of his generosity long term, who like really is that the solution? Like is that the best solution for like what you're capable of? Like it's sort of like the teach a man to fish thing. Like I can give you fish, or or you can go get it yourself. Like like so there's some stuff there to like cleanse, and like if his friends are gonna be like crybabies about it, it's like, well, were you his friend in the first place? Shouldn't you be grateful for even just one night of uh, hospitality? Never mind like years or decades. So um, a true friend will not really need anything from you except your friendship. They won't need a place like a penthouse. Okay, so there's that. Because I do feel like the more he's sort of has this toxic circle around him, like he can't really grow. And if you think of the toxic long-term friendships he's had as like a cocoon that he was like sort of resting in, like if he wants to really transform into a butterfly, like he needs to shed that cocoon, and those people need to like find their way, and so he can become new Johnny, who's going to blow our minds with his like rebirth of creativity and stuff. So that's like some hardcore like decision making he has to do. Like just like he needed the whole world to help him break up fully with Amber and call her out. And it's like, do you need like that much support to get rid of your toxic friends too? Like no, like just realize like things are different now, and like restructure your life more simply, and like hopefully his daughter can like guide him and he'll actually listen. Because it's one thing to say like you mean everything to me, but it's like follow it up with action. I'm sure everybody's encountered people who just like all talk no action kind of people. So okay. Yeah, he could almost like if you think of God as like teaching him lessons or guiding him and teaching him lessons and stuff. Like if he doesn't make these big changes, I feel like with his long-term friendships, like or people that use him and like toxic relationships, codependent relationships. If he doesn't get out of those, I feel like he'll be in another situation similar or worse to what just happened because he didn't learn his lesson. Because it's not just about Amber Heard; it's about like how he's living and who he lets in and who like his cutoff game is not strong and like stuff like that. So he needs to just go like, I'm just me. My energy is like just me right now, and I need to heal just this right now and not have like 1,000 like children that I'm tending to. And then just go like, what does me want, and like, what is God telling like Johnny Depp to do right now if he's capable of hearing that message. I know that like sometimes alcohol or drugs can like soften those messages to the point where you can't hear them. So I don't know if let's say he went on like a diet of like having less of that and like supplements that like help the mind heal itself or like I don't know. I don't know what's out there. So certainly he would have access to like good advice on that and like to be able to buy the herbs or whatever it is. Uh, let's say he had like brought it up to like 25% intuition level from like, I don't know, at its best, I feel like he has like an 18% intuition and it can dip to 5. So at least he has some. But like, let's say it was like really good and he was like, oh, like I just want to stick to like my path, like who I'm meant to be. He already knows about his life path and how like life guided him away from music into films and stuff, and like that he didn't like ask for it, but he like became it because it was like his path, and it was like good for him to be an actor because he's been a good actor. So he needs to just like really go like, I'm not just like a bon vivant person who's just like, being a good host. Like I'm like my path is about like bringing joy to the world and like artistry and on a grand scale, even if it makes me uncomfortable at times, like for whatever reason, like he was tapped for like that, and so he needs to like fully go like, I've had time to rest and run around on yachts and this and that, but like I need to like just get back to work now and like make my descendants comfortable and secure. Like if let's say he's thinking 5 generations ahead and making like trust funds for them and like just like having property that they can like live in and just whatever, like it'd be like buying a condo, renting out the units, but like as he has more descendants, like they can like occupy that space or whatever. So okay. And that was my dog's story. It's not me, I promise. Okay, Johnny Depp. I feel like he's like nervous to date again, but it's like, is my life about fear or is my life about love? He just has to reject fear and go like, with Amber or any scary situation, it doesn't all happen like it didn't happen just in one event. It happened over many days, many years and stuff. So there's always a point where you can just pivot and go like, okay, this isn't working or I need to time out, like bye. And so between those moments, he can have his heart open and just be a representation of love and creativity and bliss and peace and stuff. So if he has his heart closed and he's being critical and always bringing up the past, it's not going to work. No matter how awesome the woman is, like let's say, for example, you got back with Kate Moss or something, like she's cool, and it's like he'd be lucky to hang out with someone that fun, and you know, so like don't f it up by bringing up the past and like living in this, like carrying the Santa sack of like everything that happened before, and like spilling it on the floor of your new love nest or whatever. So like he needs to just be like, I did that. That's over. I did the work like in the courtroom and wherever else. Like it's that work is done. And it's like if you like say you were working in the mines, you take a shower, you change your clothes, and you're like a new man, and you walk into the sunlight, into your future and stuff. So he needs to be like have that vibe. And maybe he came out of the mines with some gems, like some wisdom and stuff, just to take that metaphor like way too far. Okay. And with Amber, I feel like she'll get in because she's a mom now. So like I think she'll kind of get into that sort of mom world stuff. It's like, where does your kid go to school, and like what activities are they in, and like if she can channel any kind of competitive energy like into that sphere, I feel like, because like she might not be getting the acting work. And I feel like she's gonna have to like make nice with Elon if he's like the father of that child, and just like her way is to like just pretend like nothing happened, like everything's fine. And to some extent, like he doesn't have a lot of time for his private life, like nonsense stuff. So he might just be like, okay, like I don't know. I think he likes stuff that's like not a lot of work, or like grab and go. Like instead of walking into Starbucks, he'll do the drive-through. Relationship wise. It's okay. Let's see if there's any final messages. Like what I said before in the last reading I did about these two is like that I felt like it wasn't so much about the verdict as this like public healing that's taking place. And that was a positive thing to have everything come to light, and for him to have that, like the whole community go like, no, that's not right. Like, you shouldn't be treated this way, stuff like that. But like in terms of the verdict and stuff, I'm getting like 25 million as opposed to 50 as a settlement. And let's say, I don't know, let's like if there's 7 bullet points that they have to agree on about Johnny, I'm feeling like 5 for sure right now. I don't know if that's just like reading the status like on a Monday, what where they're at right now. I feel like the vibe right now is like maybe there's one member of the jury who's like pro Amber on 1 point, but I think if they really like go through the footage, it's like the answer is there, and it's like no, like and I do think that like hopefully Johnny can take criticism in that, like maybe he could be less haughty, like I think like being treated like a prince for a long period of time has sort of distanced him from reality somewhat, like in terms of like, you know, humility. So I think if he could just be more careful about like, I just want to say this correctly. Wait, I just want to see the energy again. If he can express the good in situations, it would be better. That's what I feel like the advice is. Like, let's say he, in his past emails to his friends that were like off the cuff, and he didn't expect anyone to read them, and he didn't expect to do the actions he said in his emails and stuff. As opposed to Amber, who like physically gave him a knife that could have possibly like been the end of him at some point. Like, what would make someone make that knife as a gift? Anyway, so like getting back to it, like if he was used to analyzing, like summarizing a situation in the negative, that doesn't serve him. Like it could still be a shitty situation, pardon my language, but like if he, there's also a good side to it. So like if someone terrible made it really obvious that they're terrible, it's like, I'm so grateful to know this 100, like her shitting on the bed. It's like, instead of him saying like, what did, the obvious, like it's bad behavior or whatever, just to say like, I'm so grateful to know 100% this is not the person for me through that very obvious action. Like he could phrase things in the positive. So moving forward, the advice I get for Johnny is like, when you express yourself to people, either written or spoken, focus on the positive aspect of things and your gratitude, rather than just being like the armchair critic or feeling like above people. Because like we're all imperfect in our own way and working hard to like become better versions of ourselves. So if he's like interested in having a better life, you have to like do better things. You can't like stay on the same track. And as I was saying before, it's super dangerous for him to not grow and evolve from this and not change his behavior if it was bad. So like, if you think of speaking positively, not as like lying or being airy fairy and stuff, it's like, if you think of it as being ecological, if you think of like energy being like flowers or garbage on the ground, it's like you want to be the person putting the flowers in, not the garbage. So like, let's say you come up to somebody and you just say like, oh, my day is so terrible, like this, that, and the other. And they're kind of given, if you think of those words as like solid objects that person then has to carry around, like, what, it's like, give them a different memory. Like, I woke up today, I feel good. I feel so blessed that like I'm not in pain today, or like, my children were kind to me, or like what, anything that, that matters too. So it's like, or I'm so glad to see you, I love my job. I'm so glad that like I can feed my family or whatever. Like, just throw flowers out there instead of garbage. I know it like might be like going to the gym, like trying really hard not to say something critical, but I feel like for Johnny Depp, like he has to do that. Like he has to, is to cut out his toxic friends, because like if they're not grateful by this point, like what else do you want? Like, stop. Like, if you love him, let him be free. And then also, cleaning up his language and thoughts and stuff. Okay. Sorry, it's like a long reading. And like I was saying, like, I feel like Amber, because of her lifestyle and, nature, nurture, whatever, like she's kind of like 60% nice. And for a lot of people, like that's not enough. to have like a decent friendship. So she's just gonna kind of do her thing, you know, but like, and Johnny has like this task of like 2.5 years of like hard work, renovating himself like head to toe, like diet, lifestyle, behavior, things that matter. So like if his kid, if he really cares that much about his kids, it's like, how about like extending your life with health, you know, and like giving a shit about like being around for them and stuff. Um, and making their life like not toxic and weird and scary and stuff by making better, more careful decisions about who you hang out with and stuff. So, all right. So there's just like one more thing. I feel like there's this like element of injustice, like a little thread of that. So like there might be some aspect of the verdict that like people aren't happy with or he's not happy with, but it's like, you know, the jury's not perfect, the judge is not perfect. Like I thought she was a bit biased at the beginning of the thing, and then kind of like became less so, but still it bothered me. And so, but as I'm focusing on it, it seems to be like clearing up a bit. So, okay. You know, I guess like if we can all sort of hope that justice prevails, like true justice, and that like good wins. So okay. And to create clarity of thought around that. Okay. So what I would do if I were the advice I get for Johnny Depp is like take 2 months of like radio silence, like no tweets, no public statements whatsoever, no interviews, and just like go somewhere you like one of his resort kind of homes that are away from everybody, and just like be in that peaceful setting and let like the earth kind of heal you, you know, kind of thing, and your kids and stuff, and it's kind of back to a wholesome, like healing his inner child kind of stuff, whatever. Okay, that's the end of my reading. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you soon.